Hello guys. Today I'm making, you saw the thumbnail, I'm making a little tier list of 20 things I did, 20. Spring break now, I'm like halfway done with my final semester of college. Thought I'd sit down and finally do this. Got the highest tier, which is S tier. That means perfect, great experience, lovely experience. And at the bottom we've got F tier, which is like, that sucks, it's the worst. And we're gonna go in chronological order here. So the first thing we've got up here is the Century Challenge. This happened pretty soon after I turned 20. It was in the summer. Basically, it was doing 100 boulders in 1 hour, which was quite difficult. Physically strenuous, fun. I had fun doing it. Probably that's gonna be like low A tier because I love hanging out with friends, pushing my limits physically. I love rock climbing, so we'll put that in A tier. Next off, we've got Please Don't Destroy. I went and saw the comedy group Please Don't Destroy live in Dallas. If you don't know them, they're on SNL. They make the funny internet videos. This comedy show was pretty funny, and the tickets were cheap. And the tickets were cheap, and I bought a shirt, and that wasn't too expensive either. Probably in B tier. Yeah, good experience. Pretty shortly after I saw Please Don't Destroy, I went and saw Joji in Dallas, and I'm a huge Joji fan. This is my second time seeing Joji live, but I have to say, concert was not it. He kind of just plays his big song. It seems like he doesn't put a lot of heart and soul. He doesn't put a lot of effort into it. Like he's just there for the paycheck. He doesn't play a lot of my favorite songs because I guess they're slower Joji songs. I'm gonna have to put that in D tier, honestly. Then in October of 2023, I went on a group retreat, a leadership retreat. This was my second time attending this leadership retreat at UTA. I was a peer leader, so I led a group of students in the leadership retreat and I guided our discussion sessions about leadership. Thinking about this is, first of all, it made me feel bad about myself because I was like, maybe I'm not good enough to do this. Second of all, you don't sleep well because you go out like to these cabins in the middle of nowhere. And it's just, 2 straight days of doing leadership stuff. And you're not allowed to drink, obviously, which makes sense, but I like drinking. And the other thing was I developed a bit of a crush on my co-leader for the group retreat. But I kept it professional during the retreat. And then like 2 weeks later, she worked at the library and I went there and I asked her out in front of some of her friends. And one of them was like, "Are you being serious?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she said, "I don't know, maybe." And then like 8 hours later, she like messaged me and she texted me, no, basically. So yeah, this kind of ruined my life for like a few days. I'm gonna put that in E tier. Yeah, that's an E tier. Not a fun memory. Did not enjoy that. All right, next up, I ran the homecoming 5K at UTA. This is fun. I love running. I'm a big fan of running. But that's a high B tier right there. All right, New Year's party. So I hosted a New Year's party to usher in the 2024. I invited a lot of friends, which wasn't that great because I kind of didn't know that many people and I was just kind of like stressed out about having all these strangers in my house, so I wasn't having that much fun. 2 people I invited got into a fight. Like they started fighting in my mudroom and I had to go break it up. So I didn't like that. To top it all off, the next morning, a house on my block burned down. So that's not good. So probably, yeah, that's D tier. Next up, I visited Washington, D.C. to get my residence permit to live in Sweden, to go study abroad in Sweden. But it's probably high C tier, honestly. It was an excuse to go to DC. It was also kind of stressful. I was only there for a little bit, but I got to see some cool stuff. All right, Sweden. I moved to Sweden for 5 months for a semester for a study abroad. And I'll have to say it was good fun. The first month I was there, I lived with a woman I met on Facebook who was renting out her room. That was a good experience. I helped her brush her cat's teeth. That's a low A tier right there. Next up, we have gym. So while I was visiting in Sweden, I had a membership to a really nice gym, the nicest gym in the city, called Yoda Holland. I was going to the gym at least 3 times a week. I put on 20 pounds in Sweden. I went from 140 to 160. And I was looking beefy. I was looking good. My numbers went up a lot. But that's an A tier for sure. And this is a big one right here. This is got no sleep because a cat kept me up all night. Bombed a Swedish exam as a result of the cat, and also probably my lack of studying. I had to end a friendship because I had romantic feelings for her, which I did over Instagram messaging. She was not happy about that. And I accidentally cut myself while I was trying to open a bag of cheese. I was bleeding a lot, so much so that I didn't even get a good picture of all the blood that was coming out of me. Fortunately, one of my corridor mates showed up and helped me fix the wound. I still have a little scar actually from it on my finger. We'll put that in low E because I liked this girl more than I liked the group retreat girl. Next, we have visiting New York twice. First time was in 2023. I visited from Arlington, and then the next time was while I was in Sweden. I flew straight to New York. Honestly, this is a pretty good experience. It's a cool city. I wouldn't live there. It's too crowded and just too expensive personally for my taste, but I do like public transport options. Keeps you fit because you're walking to buses and stuff. It's more affordable. It's better for the environment. But yeah, I'll put that low A tier. The nation trip. So while I was in Sweden, I went to Lund University. It's a small town in the south of Sweden, and they have different nations there, which is the student organizations. Because they're co-ed. Each nation has their own building, their own housing units, their own bar or pub or club, and you just pay like $10 to join one. And nations host a lot of events. My nation did a workers trip, where it was like a 1-hour bus ride out into the wilderness to a cabin. It was kind of like the group retreat, except without any leadership stuff and a lot more alcohol. Just by that metric, it's definitely above group retreat. And I had some good fun, and I got some good pictures from there of me doing stuff. But I did feel kind of lonely while I was there, because I didn't have like any like really close friends while I was there. And like I had to stop drinking after 15 drinks because my stomach started to hurt. Yeah, it's gonna be low D. Okay, this is a good one. My friends came to visit me in Sweden. 4 of them came, and they all stayed with me in my student corridor room that I moved into. There was 5 guys in there. It was very packed, but that was a lot of fun to show them around like where I live, what my life was like. So we're gonna put that high A. We got into some hijinks. I went to go see the Eric Andre show live in Copenhagen. He posted on Instagram beforehand, hey, if you're coming to the show, post something here about why you should get to come up on stage, as long as you have an ex you still talk to and an iPhone with a lightning cable. So I posted a video on Instagram, and a few hours before the show, people contacted me like, hey, we work with Eric, just meet us before the show and we'll get you up on stage. So they're like, after the mayonnaise comes, we'll ask for a celebrity guest and you shine your phone flashlight and then we'll get you out of the crowd. And that's what happened. So I was on stage with Eric Andre for a good 20 minutes, which was crazy. I made the mistake of wearing a really nice pair of pants and a really nice shirt, both of which I liked, and they both got ruined when I bobbed for chocolate pudding. I didn't know he was going to shave my head. The only thing I knew was going to happen was that he was going to FaceTime my ex-girlfriend. And he only shaved the middle third of my head, so I had to go to an actual barber the next day. Going on a show is a dream come true, so I'll put that as definitely S tier. Actually, I'll even put that in front of Jim. Except we've got the tandem bike race. This was another thing I did after my friends came to visit. I did it with 2 of my friends who came out of the 4, and there was a miscommunication. I thought one of my friends was going to arrive in the afternoon after we had left for this, but it turns out he was arriving at like 7 a.m. instead of 7 p.m. So I just wake up and he somehow found his way to my place from the airport. I'd already signed up my other friend who was already there. We were like, okay, let's just take him along and see if they'll let him sign up, and he was able to do it. So he came straight from flying and he got on this bus for a good 30 hours because we drove up to a town in northern Sweden, Gothenburg, from Lund, and then we took turns biking back to Lund on a tandem bike all the way, taking shifts. There were like maybe 20 or 25 people on the team. We take shifts in teams of 2 on a tandem bike with the rest of the people on the bus. There was also a lot of drinking involved, and I was bald and we wore reindeer costumes. There was also, I saw the Northern Lights while I was there. There was a midnight rave that happened. It was an outdoor rave. It got so sweaty. Okay, next up we've got The Specs. This was a musical I was in that I auditioned for in February, and that debuted 2 or 3 months later. It was based on Dungeons and Dragons. And I did my audition, and I was like, okay, that went okay, we'll see what happens. And a week or 2 later, I get, an email like, hey, you got cast as the NPC. I'm like, okay, cool. That's probably a minor role. I'll be fine. A month or so later, after we've started working on it, I get the second half of the script, and it turns out I'm the main villain of the play, and I have to sing and dance 2 or 3 songs back to back at the end of the play. So that was pretty stressful, especially because I'm singing Britney Spears songs, singing and dancing to Britney Spears in Sweden. And yeah, I met a lot of cool people through this, had a lot of fun, definitely a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Oh, we'll put that right here. That's a good spot for that. And one of the people I met through this was a girl that I kissed. Yeah, that's a big one. I'm a fan of doing that. We're gonna put that. It's definitely S tier. I'll probably put that right there. Okay, we'll rearrange this because that honestly I'll put that in front of that. I know I have my priorities. Except I came back from my study abroad and pretty much immediately went to Chicago. That was a cool experience. It was nice to be back in the U.S. We had some pretty nice weather. I saw a lot of cool stuff both in the suburbs and in the city. That's high B right there. Solid experience. And next up we have Hurricane Beryl. Yeah, it was early July when this hit. The only thing that happened was we lost power. And there's just minor damage. There's a lot of minor property damage in the neighborhood I lived in. I just went and slept at my friend's house in the same neighborhood we still had power. It wasn't too bad. I'll put that. That's a low C. And last but not least, right before I turned 21 and right after Beryl, I visited Romania, where this girl is from, and we were dating still at the time. That was a crazy experience. I didn't get any sleep on the flights, so my eyes got really red, and I was just feeling very out of it. Her and her father were coming to pick me up, who obviously I'd never met her dad before. He does not speak any English. But yeah, he was just very nice. Took us to the hotel. When I get there, they offer me and her a complimentary shot, which of course I take, but she doesn't want her shot, so I take her shot. And then he offers me another shot, and I take that, and he offers me another shot, and I take that. And go up to my room, a little breather, a little nap, and then we go to have dinner with her family, with her mom, her dad, her sister, her brother-in-law, and their son. And the jet lag's really hitting me. I feel quite ill. First of all, I almost throw up immediately when I get there. I'm like, excuse me, can I use the restroom? I go, I don't throw up. And, they give me all this nice stuff, and I'm just struggling to stay alive to the jet lag. I really should have just gone to sleep that first night. But they were very hospitable. And yeah, I just got to see a lot of Romania. I was there for a good week. Beautiful country. After that, I stopped by the Netherlands to visit 2 friends I had made who were in the specs with me. And that was fun as well. Now, also a lot of beautiful things to see there in the Netherlands. I'm gonna put that up here. Here we have my finished tier list. You'll notice I didn't put anything in F tier because even these 2 in E, I guess, were probably valuable experience, gave me some insight, even if they were not that fun. And yeah, 20 was a fun year. Did some cool stuff. Me and the Romanian girl and not dating anymore. It's kind of tough, I miss her. I think it's the right thing to do to not date, 7, 8 time zones apart. We'll see if 21 matches up to this all-star year.